What would you say about the administration in Ekiti State at the moment?
Well, the governor is doing his best. He's a homegrown politician. He has been in and out of office since 1999. That's 25 years ago. He paid his due before he got to the position he occupies today. He's doing his best. However, the issue of that local government not setting them free to operate, the way they run local government. Some of us wanted to contest for local government chairmanship just this last year. And all of a sudden, they said they are not even selling the forms.
Within the APC?
Yes.
You are a member of the APC.
I showed my interest. It was all over in the social media that I wanted to contest for chairman of my local government. And then a lot of people bought into it, and they were glad with all the... In fact, some people were very glad to support me to run for that local government to make it a model.
What local government?
Mamba local government. Now, suddenly, we heard that they were not going to sell the form in APC, and so they distributed forms to some people overnight.
You mean there is no internal democracy?
None. Zero. Zero internal democracy. Quote me anywhere.
Before this administration or...
Even now. Even now. Zero internal democracy. Zero.
You are still a member of the APC?
Very well.
Wouldn't they see your criticism as coming in bad faith?
Bad faith?
Perhaps because you were denied the...
No. I was not the only person. And of course, is it today that we have been members of... How did APC even come to existence? I know how many people I went to in the National Assembly asking them to merge with the ACN to form APC. I know what the kind of work I was doing in the background. I know the kind of writing I was doing in newspapers and magazines, on social media. So it's not a question of somebody criticizing. I'm not criticizing the government. He inherited the system, and it is what he has inherited that he's practicing now. It's difficult for him to just break even all of a sudden, so that he will not be seen as a rebellion, as a rebel against the institution he inherited. But if he wants to make a name, he should, number one, allow internal democracy in the party. Number two, set free the local government. The regulatory process is already in place. The way, if you commit fraud, if you do this, this is the way to handle it, and so on. All these things are all well documented. But we are housing the money of local government. It's not the best.
Are you saying Ekiti State is one of those states opposing the bill to make local government autonomous?
I don't know how many of them are opposing it. I've not been to court. I don't know how many of them really oppose the bill. But because I know what is happening in Ekiti State, I know that local governments are completely paralyzed. Go to some local government today in Ekiti State at 12 noon on a working day. You can count the number of people you will meet there. Out of about 500 staff that they will have in a particular local government, hardly would you be able to see 30 people. And those 30 people, maybe because the chairman is around at that particular time. That's not how to run local government. I think the way it is today, they are just wasting money or doing Father Christmas, paying most of the staff in local governments.
Do you see the local government working in the event that autonomy is granted?
Very well, because it has worked before. when they had free hands, even under the military government, local governments were bubbling. The only thing they had to do is to curb the excesses of some chairmen and some of the administrators who will tell you they went for one seminar without going anywhere and they claim money. Once you are able to checkmate those excesses or check those excesses, local government will work fine. They will do their constitutional roles very well, and then they will reach out to the people at the grassroots, and most of these sufferings will be alleviated, because they may not be able to award a 100 million naira contract to one person, but they can award 500,000 naira contract to 20 people, and then next month they can do the same to another set of 20 people, and these people will not come from the moon, they come from the same area, and then the person selling cement will sell, this person selling sound will sell, the one selling planks will sell, and then the economy will turn around.
You don't see the governors of the state still having a way of controlling the local government, even in the state of the local government becoming autonomous?
It will be much more difficult, especially with this system that the president has adopted. Now, he knew that he could just tell them, give autonomy to local government, and then they will say, oh, okay, there is no problem about that. But now that he's approaching it through the Supreme Court, and by the time the Supreme Court will make a statement, they will make a very clear statement. And it will be difficult for a governor to disobey the Supreme Court because some people will be watching.
What would you say of quality of life of Ekiti people under the present administration?
Well, much as the governor is doing his best, the national problem has beclouded the way we were assessing. And in any case, there was a report recently that Ekiti is the most expensive place to live in Nigeria. Yes, it was widely circulated in newspaper and social media. If you want to make a pot of stew or soup in Ekiti State, they compare it to every other place in Nigeria, including Lagos and Abuja, and they discover Ekiti is the most expensive.
Even when we're in an
agrarian society, more than 80% of the people of Ekiti State are involved in agriculture in one way or the other. Even teachers, they have farms. Civil servants, some of them, they have farms.
So what could be responsible for this high cost of things?
Well, what is responsible is a straightforward thing. When you have a system where you are not selling anything to the outside world, you are buying everything from the outside world, the only thing I think we are selling, or maybe a few things I know we were selling yams from during the yam season. Very soon we'll begin to sell yam in Ekiti, and you see trailers and all these trucks coming to pick up our yams and go. But that will last for just a few months. And then we were selling Gosi water. The day I got to Calabar, the first restaurant I entered to eat, guess the water they gave me, Gosi water. But suddenly, the thing went down. I don't know whether it is up again now. Now, so if we are not earning money from other sources, and we are spending all the cement we use in Ekiti, imported, quote and unquote, the seasonings we use, quote and unquote, imported, the cows we eat, quote and unquote, imported, almost everything except for yam and rice.
Do you see the government interventionist effort in terms of food security, like creating tractorization agenda, and making seedlings available, trying to reawaken the interest of the people in agriculture.
That's the point we have been making. You know, the day I saw the number of tractors that Niger State government bought, I was very sad. I wrote a statement and published it on the social media. What are we really doing in Ekiti State? It seems to me that we are not really set to make any impact. Governance is not rocket science. It's something, if you know the areas where we have advantages, like rice cultivation, let's go into it massively. We have young people that you can train in agriculture, set up farm settlements. Almost in every local government, we have land that can be used for farm settlements. And then set up a proper rice mill, not the Okuta stuff, oh God stuff. Now, if we have a proper rice mill, and then we have rice growers and the government will offtake when there is glut, there is off-taker, the government will serve as off-takers of the products, you see that everything will become balanced. There is no reason why we cannot have a cattle ranch from Otun axis up to Erio. We have good land that has been investigated and found to be conducive for cattle rearing. Let's have cattle ranch and take care of the better part of Southwest with the cattle from Ekiti State. Let's have reactivate our the rebunt brick, and then we reduce the stress, the emphasis on the use of cement to build houses. We have architects that can give us new concepts. We have builders.
Without cement?
Without cement, build a good house without cement. These are some of the things we should be working on. And then take care of your civil servants and the pensioners, and you live in peace. Ekiti people, they don't trouble government.
Would you say the government has made sufficient effort in terms of its relationship with the civil servants in the areas of salary payment, the areas of gratuity and pension?
Very well. They have done very well. Very, very well on that area.
What we normally celebrate before is increment from 10 million every month for as gratuity to 100 million every month. But today, the issue has changed. 200 million for 500 million, even at once, is 700 million. And we plan to take every chairman to your office to begin to demand for all these things. Every chairman will take your now. I need not to take him to His Excellency again. He has solved the problem. And it is therefore my prayer that the Lord will continue to be with you. Yeah. The Lord will continue to provide for Ekiti State. Yeah.
But unfortunately, because of the cost of living, you see, when you give somebody who was already on cooperative, on this loan or that loan and so on, you pay him the arrears of a salary of 2018, maybe at the end of the day 25,000 gets to him or her as the arrears of July so years. 25,000 naira in 2018, what it will buy, you and me, you know, well, compared to what it will buy now. If you take 25,000 naira to the market and say you want to buy rice alone, you cannot come back home with more than 10 measures of rice.
Then the palliatives that the government is distributing once in a while to the people of Ekiti. Do you have any comment on that?
I don't have because it's not reaching out. It's not making, it's like a drop in the ocean. It's not reaching anywhere.
When you say it's not reaching out, do you mean it's not sufficient or it doesn't go around at all?
Not sufficient. It's not sufficient. When they take 5 bags of rice to a town with 3 wards, How do they divide it? One cup and one agolo of rice. I don't know what agolo is called. This thing of milk. So how do you do that?
Do you have any suggestion on how the palliative sharing should have been?
What we should have done is to ensure that people go back to the farm. Give them the incentives to go back to the farm. It's not this one, even if you get one measure of rice, which is the 10 little thing, how long will that last? But if you give somebody the incentive to go back to the farm, you mentioned seedlings, you mentioned all these other farm inputs, you mentioned tractorization. If the tractor is there, you hire the tractor and the government will pay as a way of palliative, and they give you seedlings to plant. If you are not the devil now, God will water with the rain falling, and then you go back to the place and harvest big crops of corn. You harvest your rice, you harvest your yam, you harvest your cassava. I was in the farm last week. If you see the kind of cassava I harvested from my father's farm, you'll be surprised. You know, God has blessed us so much in Ekiti State, we don't have any agenda to be hungry.
You think the people should go back to the farm?
That is what I'm saying, my dear brother. People should go back to the farm. Let's take care of these cattle rearers destroying farms. And if we take care of it, let's take care of the insecurity problem. People will go back to the farm. We shouldn't have any business with hunger in Ekiti State.
It looks like the government has set up a security apparatus for combing the bushes.
I heard it on radio a few days ago, and let's see how that plays out. Let's see how it works.
Let's look at what has been unique in the government of Jordan Abayomi Ibanji.
Okay.
It appears like he has played the role of a unifier more than his predecessors. He has been relating with previous governors of the state across all parties and relating with individuals irrespective of their political affinities.
It is a plus for him. In fact, one of the reasons why he will be a better governor than all the other governors is because he has been in Ekiti for a long time. He understands Ekiti very well. He knows what we want. And of course, he has experience in government. Remember that he has been there since 1999, in and out. And then he knows exactly what to do. And the kind of person he is a kind man. I think so. He's a kind man. And because of that, and he has a lot of regard for those ahead of him, whether by reason of age or by reason of their having served in that office before, or because of what they have contributed to the society in Ekiti State. A person like that will always be better than those, quote and unquote, who have read all the books in the world and they don't want to listen to anybody. They don't have to respect anybody, even if they admit that they are friends of your son. They still not respect you.
We understand that his borderless policy of relating with everybody is not too comfortable with some party members.
Now, whoever is not comfortable with that must be a troublemaker, because we have peace in Ekiti State now. We almost have zero opposition right now. And if a party member is not happy with that kind of governor, then he has an ulterior motive. He has a hidden agenda. And if such a person should just come out, whether the person wants to be governor, he wants to cross carpet to another party to go and contest there or something, He should come out and let us know what is going on. And people should not be thinking always of the next election. You know, a wise man said, visionary people think of the next generation. Politicians think of the next election. It is not right for all of us to start thinking of only the next election. This man is building bridges across party lines, is cementing relationship with everybody, even including those who are not even politicians, respecting those who should be respected, honoring those that they deserve to be honored. So if somebody is not happy, he has something else. Maybe he wants a position, he wants to be known, he wants to be seen.
Already, some people are clamoring for a second term, endorsing the governor for a second term, while he's yet to complete the second year.
Some people love jumping the gun. So if they are athletes, they will always be disqualified. If you want to run 100 meters and they say at your mark and you start running without waiting for set go, after the second warning, they will just drop you out of the team, no matter even if you are the fastest runner in the world. We must do things the way it should be done. Let him concentrate on what he's doing. Stop talking about second term or third term. It's God that will put somebody in place. It's God that puts people in office. If he's doing well now, if he can do well up to the time that they will say second, most people will just be quiet because they know they will just waste their money. And if you see people coming out to say, especially within the same party, to still say they want to contest, they just want to be known. They just want to be known. I know one or two persons who said they will look for some 20 million and they run against him, even in our party. Because they just want to be known, to be there. And they know that by the time they spend 20 million naira, everywhere will be bubbling. The media will be bubbling. So, that's the way I see it. Well, for me, everybody is permitted to say whatever. This is even a human right, part of our human rights. You have a right to say what you want to say. You have a right to go to wherever you want to go. You have a right to associate with whoever you want to associate. And then the rest will be your own kettle of fish.
People of the fountain.